Welcome back, class. I am Mr. Betts, and this is Memestory, in which we go over an important historical event that you're going to need to know using the internet's greatest resource, meme videos and funny clips. Today's topic, the Boston Tea Party. First, we have to talk about solitary neglect, which means that for most of colonial history, Britain was pretty hands-off, but with the French and Indian War, this policy was going to change.
Let me see what you have. No!
That war started in the colonies, almost bankrupted England, and they felt that it was time that the colonists start pitching in and paying up. The free ride was over.
Why'd you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know this, boy. He's got his free taco.
Not to mention how frustrated they had become with the massive amount of smuggling that was going on. Just straight out cheating, gaming the system, and not getting caught. So through the 1760s and 1770s, a series of acts and taxes were put upon the colonists. The Sugar Act of 1764, the Stamp Act of 1765, the Declaratory Act of 1767, and that same year, the Townshend Act, which put an import tax on goods like glass and paint and tea. It felt to the colonists like they were getting hit again and again. And worse, the colonists had no say in these matters. All these decisions were being made 5,000 miles away in Parliament. So soon you had people like Sam Adams and John Hancock forming the Sons of Liberty. They would meet under liberty trees, they would organize protests, they would tar and feather officials. It was great.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
But soon, one act would push the colonists over the edge, the Tea Act of 1773. Now, it actually made tea in the colonies cheaper, and it sounded good on paper, but something about it smelled suspicious.
Hello? Hold on, is this a Febreze commercial?
See, it was really a way for the British government to give the struggling British East India Tea Company a virtual monopoly on tea in the colonies. They would receive a massive discount on import duties and could bring the tea directly into colonial ports, making it the cheapest tea in town. And since the colonists had no voice in Parliament, there was nothing they could do about it. Or was there? See, beginning in November of 1773, the ships carrying the tea started arriving in the colonies. One in Charleston, one in New York, one in Philadelphia, and 3 in Boston. It was supposed to be 4, but the William was lost at sea. Do we have a clip of that?
Dig me! Dig me! Yeah, that'll teach you.
Storms and protests in Charleston, New York, and Philadelphia had prevented that tea from being offloaded. The message was clear. The colonists didn't want British East India tea here.
Get out of here! Can't you see we don't want you anymore? Why can't you go back where you came from? My friend.
So why was Boston any different? Well, 2 of the co-signees, those people that were designated to actually go pick up the tea, they were sons of the royal governor, Thomas Hutchinson. So they weren't allowed to reject the tea and send it back. But at the same time, the Sons of Liberty had placed 25 guards around the ships to make sure that the tea didn't make it off. So even when Hutchinson said, go pick up the tea, the co-signees were like,
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Sorry.
that one still hurts. It really does. Thanos. So you have 3 ships, the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver, and they're just sitting there in Boston Harbor with about 90,000 British pounds worth of tea on them. They can't take it off because of the Sons of Liberty, they can't send it back because of the governor, but something's gotta happen because the law says that cargo needs to be unloaded within 20 days of reaching port, and it's the 19th day already. We got a real dilemma here.
This train is gonna crash into these 5 people. Should we move the train to go this way, or should we let it go that way? Which way should the train go?
So on December 16, 1773, Sam Adams has a meeting attended by 5,000 Bostonians. There he declares that this meeting can do nothing more to save this country. It is clear to everyone something drastic has to be done with these ships.
I sawed this boat in half!
No, not quite that, but you do have 25 men that storm the ships with the purpose of dumping the tea in the harbor. They're dressed like Mohawk Indians, partially to disguise their identity, but more so to send the message that they were Americans and this is America.
This is America. No, this is Patrick.
And let me tell you, this actually took forever. It took all night long. Between the three ships, there's 342 chests of tea, some of them weighing up to 400 pounds. You better be able to lift, bro.
So you go hit it one time, One time.
When it was all over, 10,000 British pounds worth of tea was thrown overboard. That's like $1 million today worth of tea that was just mixing in Boston Harbor. And I gotta ask, what did that do to the fish?
Layla, why are you crying? Drowning. Who's drowning? The fish is the fish are swimming.
Who cares? This is a victory, and this will send that message to Parliament. It'll teach them to have taxation without representation. And yes, Britain was furious, as you can see here.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
But they weren't about to give in. No, Boston would be punished severely in the form of the Coercive Acts, aka the Intolerable Acts. Boston Port closed down until the tea is repaid. Massachusetts colonial government shut down. British officials, you don't need to stand trial in the colonies if you don't want to. British troops being brought over, need a place to stay? How about a colonist house? Quartering Act. It was scary now. But in actuality, this gave the colonies something that they desperately needed, a unifying cause. Soon the First Continental Congress would meet, and they would vow to defend each other on the road ahead and not let anything stand in their way.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. 'Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always, baby. Do you love me?
So that was the Memestory of the Boston Tea Party. If you're interested in the history of Boston just before the American Revolution starts, might I recommend As If an Enemy's Country by Richard Archer, which details what it was like in the city in the years between the Townsend Act and the Boston Massacre. If you're more interested in the turbulent first year of our country, check out David McCullough's 1776. And if you're new to this country, check out How to American, An Immigrant's Guide to Disappointing Your Parents by Jimmy O. Yang. Point is, all of these titles and almost a 500,000 more are available on audible.com. With school starting, I'm super busy, you're super busy. We don't have time to read a physical book, but audible.com allows us to keep reading. And if you use the link down in the description, you will receive a free audiobook of your choosing for you to keep forever. And if you like this video, make sure you click that button that lets me know. Leave a comment down below and make sure you subscribe for my new American history videos every Thursday because there's a lot to learn and we're gonna learn it together. Be safe, I'll see you next time.